Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. But before that, we have a solar eclipse in the sign of Cancer that is taking place on the 21st. Now, a solar eclipse is a grand beginning, right? It's an initiation point, and these tend to unpack themselves over about 3 to 6 months. It's a much longer period, and the reason being is because it's not an event, it's an experience. It's something that is supposed to unfold. It's kind of like the universe kind of gives you a gift and says, right, that I'm going to give you a little box of tools and you have to unpack those over the next sort of 3 to 6 months. Now, this one for you is taking place in your 9th house. This is where you are connected to other people. And when I say other people, I'm not talking about people in your vicinity. I'm talking about this is where you connect to the world, to foreign cultures, to bigger ideas and goals and dreams, to higher philosophies, to higher states of mind and consciousness as well. This is where you are really, maybe even this could start to see you looking at the law, the legal system that you are a part of, how that works for you, you know, what you think of legislation. In this 9th house as well, you see this is where the house of other people, right? And when I say other people, this is foreign cultures. It's people that are from different places, different backgrounds to you. It tends to bring things, you know, because it's a solar eclipse, right? So this is an initiation point. You could find yourself connecting now with people that are vastly different to you, that come from the world over, from really foreign cultures, from really different places. You could be drawn to, you know, to over the next 3 to 6 months, you could find yourself being really drawn to other places and people from other places as well. You could find that you're being drawn to people that have you know, really spiritual outlooks or beliefs. That's definitely a possibility, and also this could see you really connecting to your own idea of belief. What is your belief structure? You know, what do you believe in? What are your higher ideals and philosophies? Do you have any? Are they at odds with the place that you live at or the place that you grew up in? If so, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to leave your mark on the world? And ultimately, how do you see yourself and your culture reflected in the eyes of other people, and vice versa? This is a really powerful eclipse for you guys for that reason, and it could start or initiate a whole period of travel that is coming up for you, which is really, really exciting. Even with all of the stuff that's going on in the wider world stage, I said what I said. It's just because people are like, oh, but we got a pandemic going. Yes, we do, but life isn't just going to stop. You know, human beings have been around for a long time, and we're going to be around for a long time to come. There may come a time where we, you know, really do maybe take it too far and take ourselves out, but for the most part, I certainly see us being here for at least another 500 years, right? Which means at some point we are going to learn to we're going to learn to navigate the times that we are in, and what that looks like is every single industry changing. Doesn't mean that they're going anywhere, right? It just means that they're going to evolve. So when I say to you over the next 3 to 6 months you could be traveling internationally, what, you're just going to say, well, that's not going to happen because there's a pandemic on? Okay, but it's going to change. It doesn't mean that people can't travel. It just means that it's limited or restricted. You don't even know the reasons that you're going to be traveling for. Neither do I at this point. So, you know, be more open to it than that. Now, anyway, sorry, soapbox moment. Bad, Rafi. For your key to the week, you have the High Priestess. Now, your High Priestess is your own intuition, your own spiritual wisdom and understanding that comes through. Now, indifference, right? The Hermit card is your spiritual wisdom, whereas your your high priestess is your spiritual intuition, right? She is that part of you that speaks to you through without words, but through impressions and dreams and feelings and instinct, right? So, but she also represents what? She represents the hidden world, and so therefore she represents hidden things coming to light. And this is very likely going to see some, you know, in all of these sectors or areas of your life, it looks like there's something coming out or coming through for you. So for your actions and options, you have the Seven of Swords. Now this is an interesting one, right? Because as everybody knows, this is Raf's least favorite card, just because of everything that it stands for. This card for me is the antithesis. It's the antithesis of everything that I try to bring to the world. Now that's not to say that you're out here, Scorpio's out here being shady and lying and stealing and everything. No, it doesn't. It actually feels for me like the opposite. I feel like this week you're going to catch somebody in a lie. Maybe you're going to catch somebody out with something. Maybe you will get a glimpse behind the curtain that you weren't supposed to get. Maybe you hear something in passing. Maybe somebody copies you in on an email that you weren't supposed to be privy to. My biggest piece of advice this week: learn how to use your poker face, right? Whatever it is that comes up, whatever it is, it's kind of like one of those moments, you know, like where somebody's facade is going to drop, or something, you know, who somebody really is going to kind of be revealed, and they're going to try to, you know, pull up their proverbial knickers, but it's too late, right? And now that you've seen behind the curtain, you can't go back to not seeing it. And the thing is, with a Scorpio, I've said this about you guys before, once you break the trust of a Scorpio, you will never, they might forgive you because they, you know, and even then it will take a while, let's be honest, you are a Scorpio, right? They will forgive you, but they will never, and I mean never, forget that moment, right? So this week, if you're a cross watcher and you know that there's something you're hiding from a Scorpio, this week you're likely to get found out. And when that chance comes, or when that moment comes, and you are seen for behaving in a certain manner, just know there's no going back after that. Now, it does look like whatever it is that you discover this week, I want you to have your game face on, right? So like it didn't even phase you, just like a boss. And the reason I say that is because whoever this person is, they're obviously going to try to backtrack. They're obviously going to try to, oh, you know, but it was because A, B, and C, and this week, once this person is revealed to be exactly who they are, or to behave how they are, it kind of is what it is, right? So that's my advice to you. Now, because this is your actions and your options, I kind of feel like once you've seen this, you will then start to move off in a different direction, and you may very well cut this person out or off, you know, for good. Just going to be an interesting one to see what comes up. For your communications and conversations, you have the Four of Swords. Be very selective about what it is that you are sharing this week, who it is that you are sharing it with. I just have to say this because, I mean, look at this. You've got the Four of Swords, which is about waiting, patience, and stillness. As a communications card, this always tells me to tell people to keep it shut. This is not a week for divulging big things about who you are, about where you're. Now, it's interesting, right? Because I was talking about that solar eclipse, and that's a much longer sort of energy. Whereas this week, it's really important that you're not sharing details about who you are, about what you do for your work. Especially if you're just getting to know somebody, or there's somebody new on the horizon. This is just a week for you to be really cautious. Now, this will play out for everybody in a different way. All I can give you is what's coming up. So this week, when it comes to the communication and being out there, just use your own intuition. You've got a very good intuition, right? So pay attention to it this week. If someone's asking questions that make you feel a bit like, oh, okay, that's a bit weird, why are you asking? Just pass it off with a comment, you know, find some way to say like, oh, that's an odd question. That's what I usually do. If my intuition tells me this person's full of shit, I will just, yeah, most of the time I will actually just get up and walk away, or just say like, I've got to go now. But, you know, if they're digging and digging and digging and I feel really out of my element, I'll just say, oh, that's a really weird question. Why are you asking? The reason I was asking... Anyway, For your money and materials, you have the Five of Wands, right? So this is nice, actually, because it suggests that in order to make money going forward, so your money looks okay this week, but what the big thing that's coming through is, again, if this is to do with work, if it's to do with colleagues or collaborators and stuff, there is a strong spirit of competition that is surrounding you at the moment, Scorpio, and it does look or feel like somebody is either trying to maybe give you the side eye and copy what you're doing, or maybe they're just outright looking to get what it is that you know, because there's a part of you that is on the up and up, right? We've seen this for Scorpios. So it could be that there is a spirit of envy or jealousy that pervades this week, and you know, when it starts fucking with your bag, you know, then you need to ask what somebody's true motives are. So that's one thing that you might want to pay attention to. On another side, on a nice side actually, that Five of Wands means that this week you could start seeing or hearing from people that end up being really beneficial to your path, people that are going to work with you or work alongside you. It's just going to be a week where you're going to have to be really discerning over who is who, and unfortunately, you know, it's not a personal reading, so I can't give you any more information besides that. For your home looks good. It looks like it could be a very busy week for you, you know, with some coming and going. Now again, lockdown situation, so it's likely to be over the airways, but it does look like a very busy week for you. And when it comes to your health, your Five of Wands is come on, brain. Yeah, this could, I would probably say this is going to be your, I want to say your head and your neck, but I'm not sure if I'm right on that one, so I will have to check. But yeah, just this is a week for you to, yeah, your head, your neck and your shoulders, just be really cautious with those things. Now, if you are lifting weights, just be really careful, keep your form. For your love and relations, you've got the Tower card. All right, so I mean, this can go either way. If you're single and you are talking to someone, there's someone on the horizon, this can go one of two ways. They can either be an absolute breath of fresh air and be like a complete surprise and a shock to you, or on the other end, this person could be, you know, you could hear something in the end after chatting to them for weeks on end and just be like, wow, you know what, you're actually not the person that I thought you were. So something to consider. For those of you that are partnered, this is going to be a bit of a challenging week for you guys, I'm sorry to say. The big thing that I want to say to you, because you've got the Five of Wands in close proximity, this is not a week to get advice from friends or people outside of your relationship. If you've got a problem, take it directly to your significant other. Have it out with them. Even if it leads to a bit of a, you know, a bit of a bust up, it's better to do that than let other people interfere, because I kind of feel like there's just the energy around other people for you guys this week is very unstable. So just be really cautious about, you know, you're going to have to be really discerning. Now, you are naturally anyway, which is great, but it does look like this week you're going to have to be extra cautious. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.